They talk loud because they fear the silence. They scream for attention because without noise they feel invisible. But power, real power, walks quietly. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to argue. You don't need to react. When the world throws chaos your way, your silence becomes your sword. And that silence, it rattles them more than any words ever could. Control begins when you stop the impulse to speak, when you stop giving them access to your emotions. You become unpredictable. You become untouchable. Because silence is a shield, one no one sees coming. Remember, they can't use what you don't give them. And if they never see you break, you're already 10 steps ahead. It's simple. You react. They win. You flinch. They know where to aim. You explode. They know what breaks you. But when you stay calm, when you don't respond to their noise, their disrespect, their games, you strip them of their power. Reactions are fuel. Stop giving it away. The strongest man in the room is not the one shouting. It's the one who sees it all, feels it all, and says nothing. Because he knows emotions are a luxury, and he's too focused on the mission. Control is not about what you command around you. It's about what you master within. You can't lead others if you can't lead your own emotions. You can't win the war outside until you conquer the battlefield in your mind. Control starts when you choose not to flinch, when you choose clarity over chaos, when you decide, my peace is non-negotiable. Discipline is not about rules. It's about keeping your energy sacred. No one gets to dictate how you feel, not unless you hand them the remote. Everything is designed to make you snap. Social media, news, people, even your so-called friends. They provoke, they produced, they test you. Why? Because when you break, they win. But here's the truth. Your stillness is your rebellion. In a loud world, your calm is revolutionary. And when you don't break, you rise. The storm only scares the ones who haven't trained in it. You've built yourself in silence. So let the world scream. You'll be the man standing calm in the center of the hurricane. They don't need to destroy you. They just need you to destroy yourself by reacting. Every reaction is a leak in your armor. Every emotional outburst is a gift to your enemies. They'll provoke you, hoping you'll show your hand. But you don't owe them anything. Not your anger, not your attention, not your energy. Strength is not about striking back. It's about refusing to play the game. Let them guess what's on your mind. Let them fear what they cannot read. Your anger is not you. Your sadness is not you. Your frustration, your jealousy, your anxiety, they are visitors. And you are the house they're just passing through. Feel them, yes, but don't become them. Because when you act out of emotion, you hand over control. You abandon the throne of your own mind. Be the observer, not the slave. Be the master, not the reactor. This is how you evolve from human to weapon, from victim to leader. Anxiety lies. It tells you the worst-case scenario is the only possible future. It whispers that you must act now, scream now, defend now. But what anxiety really fears is your silence, because silence is where truth lives. And in that silence, you see, most fears are illusions. Don't fight your anxiety. Outlast it. Don't react to the panic. Breathe through it. Master your breath, and you master your moment. And if you can master the moment, you can master your life. Chapter 8. Your strength is indifference to chaos. You don't win by resisting the storm. You win by becoming immune to it. While others panic, you calculate. While they react, you remain. While they beg for calm, you are the calm. That's power. You don't need to fix the world's chaos. You just need to make sure it never enters you. And when you reach that level of control, the world stops controlling you. In a world full of triggers, he who cannot be triggered is king. Anyone can shout, anyone can punch a wall or send an angry text. But the man who feels the fire and doesn't move, that man is dangerous. Self-control isn't soft. It's violent restraint. It's the refusal to self-destruct. Because real strength is quiet. Real strength watches. Real strength waits, then moves once and ends everything. Kings don't flinch. Leaders don't yell. Warriors don't respond to every insult because they know the truth. Reacting is what the powerless do. It's how they try to feel seen. But when you've built real power, you don't need. The world says follow your feelings, but your feelings lie. They want comfort. They crave distractions. They'll pull you off course every single time. Discipline is the refusal to listen to weakness. It's getting up at 4 a.m. when comfort says sleep. It's silence when pride says respond. It's showing up when nothing in you wants to. In a world full of soft decisions and softer people, discipline is the rebellion. And you're a soldier in that war. Every day you're being programmed. The words you hear, the images you see, the people you let in. All of it shapes you, unless you choose otherwise. Control doesn't mean avoiding the world. It means filtering it. You choose what gets access to your mind. You decide what lives there. Because whatever enters starts to grow. So choose wisely. Your inputs create your outcomes. And if you want power, start with what you consume. The moment you react emotionally, they win. Because now they know your buttons. They know how to make you move, panic, explain. Predictability is a weakness. It makes you easy to play. But when you pause, when you slow everything down and choose your response, you become dangerous. Control the pace, control your tone, control your presence, and suddenly, no one knows what's coming. That's how kings move. They miss the version of you that was easy to provoke, quick to speak, easy to read, always emotional. They don't like this new you, the one who says less, watches more, and reacts to nothing. They'll try to bring him back, poke at you, remind you of your past, test your patience. Don't fold. Stay cold. Stay clear. Stay distant from anything that pulls you off your path. This version of you, this is the one that wins. Nobody is born calm. It's not natural. It's earned. It's trained. Over years of pain, failure, pressure. You get calm after life punches you in the mouth, and you don't flinch. You get calm after you've been humiliated and don't respond. You get calm when you've seen it all, and it no longer moves you. Calm isn't passive, it's active. It's the strongest form of resistance. And in that calm, you make moves that shake the world. They want applause. They want likes. They want to be seen grinding. That's not power. That's insecurity. Real strength is invisible. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't post its every move. While they flash, you build. While they beg, you earn. While they react, you remain a shadow. Because the strongest man in the room, he doesn't speak, he acts. And when he's done, everyone else is silent. The system wants obedience. Your enemies want reactions. The world wants you predictable, soft, weak. But you're not wired for submission. You're wired for mastery. They fear what they can't label. They fear what doesn't flinch. They fear the man who listens more than he speaks. Because he's thinking 3 moves ahead. Don't be what they want. Be what they fear. Be the one who moves without warning and never explains. Confidence without control is chaos. It's loud. It's unstable. It breaks under pressure. But control is power in silence. It's walking into a room and owning it without a word. It's knowing who you are and never having to prove it. You don't need confidence to win. You need control over your tone, over your body, over your emotions. With control, confidence becomes irrelevant because presence speaks louder than pride. Respect isn't asked for. It's not demanded. It's commanded. Not by volume, but by energy. Not by begging, but by how you carry yourself. You walk different when you're unshakable. You speak different when you need nothing. You move different when no one can move you. They feel it. They sense it. They respect it. Or they fear it. Either way, you win. The future doesn't matter. The past doesn't own you. The only thing that's real is this moment. And if you can own this moment without flinching, without reacting, without breaking, you become unstoppable. Every moment is a test. Every reaction is a decision. You are the thermostat, not the thermometer. You don't change based on the room. You change the room by walking into it. Impatience is the enemy of greatness. Most people can't wait. They need instant approval, instant results, instant revenge. But you play the long game because waiting is a weapon. While they react in the moment, you wait for your moment. While they move emotionally, you move strategically. The man who waits chooses when to strike, and when he does, it's over before they even realize it started. You don't owe them your time. You don't owe them your reactions. You don't owe them your story, your reasons, your heart. The more you give, the more they take. But when you give nothing, they panic. Because most people feed off your energy, starve them, protect your world like a fortress. Let very few in. Let even fewer stay. You are not theirs. You are your own. If you don't take control of your mind, the world will. It'll feed you fear. It'll program you with weakness. It'll convince you that you are your doubts. But you're not. Your mind is a battlefield. You train it with discipline, with silence, with struggle. Every time you endure, you rewire it. Every time you say no to the noise, you sharpen it. And soon it obeys only you. Anyone can stay silent when they're wrong, but real power is staying silent when you're right. You could expose them. You could destroy them with the truth. You could win the argument, but you choose silence because your mission is bigger. You don't need to be right. You need to be in control. And nothing shakes the world more than the man who walks away while holding every card. Let them doubt you. Let them laugh. Let them think you're soft, weak, easy. That's your advantage. Because when they don't see you coming, you hit harder. You move quieter. You take everything. Being underestimated is a gift. No pressure, no eyes, no expectations. Just pure execution in silence. They won't know what happened until you've already won. You don't need to dominate anyone. You just need to dominate yourself. Every single day. When people see your self-control, they raise their standards. They move different around you. They speak with caution. They watch your moves like a blueprint. Why? Because you show them what's possible. And when you show no weakness, you stop being a man. You become a mirror, a reminder of everything they're not. Not every fight is worth the win. Sometimes the cost of reacting is greater than the reward. They want to bait you, to drag you into battles that leave you drained, distracted, broken. But when you choose stillness, you win by not playing. Let them bark. Let them throw punches in the air. You sit silent, untouchable. That's victory. Not in noise, but in stillness. Listen closely. The ones who yell the most have the least power. That rage, that drama, that emotional chaos, it's a cover-up for fear, for insecurity, for weakness. But the man who whispers, the man who doesn't react, he owns the room without saying a word. Volume is not strength. Stillness is. Don't match their noise. Silence them with your presence. You don't have to tell them what's coming. You don't have to prove anything. You don't need their permission or their applause. You just need execution. Relentless, ruthless, disciplined execution. Let your silence build pressure. Let your results break the room. Let your actions echo louder than their opinions. Because when it's all said and done, let them say he never spoke, but damn, he won everything. You want mastery? You'll have to bury emotion, not feel less, but control more. You feel the anger and don't move. You feel the fear and keep going. You feel the doubt and act anyway. Because mastery isn't about how loud your heart screams. It's about how clear your mind responds. Feel everything, show nothing, move precisely. That's not emotion, that's evolution. You don't build power in crowds. You build it alone, in silence, in the dark, when no one's watching. Isolation strips away the noise. It forces you to face yourself. It reveals your weaknesses and demands that you kill them. When you're alone, there's no audience. Only discipline, only truth, only growth. Control is not given in the spotlight. It's earned in the shadows. They don't deserve your story. They don't get access to your motives, your strategy, your why. Let them guess. Let them assume. Let them build their own fantasy. Because while they talk, you work. While they gossip, you execute. Explanation is a form of weakness. You don't need to be understood. You need to be effective. They'll understand when it's too late. In pressure, most people fold. They scream, they lash out, they retreat. Not you. You wait, you breathe, you endure. The longer the silence, the more they crack. The more you hold frame, the more they lose theirs. Because the game isn't who reacts, it's who breaks first. You break nothing. You bend to no one. You just keep standing until everyone else collapses. Anyone can flex. Anyone can show off. But real power? It's invisible. It's in restraint, in the choice not to respond, in the discipline not to strike back, in the strength to walk away when you could dominate. That's silence. That's stillness. That's control in its purest form. The lion doesn't need to roar. He just needs to exist. The world is loud. Everyone's performing, begging to be seen, starving for attention. But you're different. You don't dance for likes. You don't entertain the clowns. You sit. You build. You move when it's time. While they act, you prepare. And when the curtain falls, you're the only one still standing. The higher your value, the lower your need to respond. You don't chase. You don't explain. You don't engage with the petty, because when you know your worth, you don't move like everyone else. You become rare. And rare things don't fight for attention. They receive it. You're not here to be loud. You're here to be legendary. And legends never chase noise. Pain breaks most people, but not you. You use it. Every scar becomes armor. Every failure becomes fuel. Every loss becomes a weapon. You don't run from pain, you run into it. Because pain is the pressure that forms diamonds. Let it sharpen you. Let it shape you. Let it make you a machine. They study your face. They want to know what gets under your skin, what makes you blink, twitch, fold. But you give them nothing. Because when they can't read you, they can't control you. When they don't know your triggers, they lose power. And when you react to nothing, they fear you. Let your mask be made of stone. Let your soul be made of fire. Most people panic when things fall apart. You become calm. Because this is what you were made for. Chaos is your home. Pressure is your environment. Disorder sharpens your edge. You don't just survive storms. You walk into them with your eyes open. And when the dust settles, you're still there, unmoved, unbroken, unbeaten. The moment you step into a room, it changes because you control your energy. You control your emotions. You control your actions. And anything you touch bends. People talk softer. Situations slow down. The energy shifts in your direction. That's not luck. That's control. And once you have it, nothing can take it from you except you. You don't need to feel like it. You just need to do it. Most people wait for motivation. They wait for the right mood, the right energy, the perfect moment. But you move whether you feel like it or not, because you know emotions lie. They whisper weakness. They make you delay. You don't obey emotion. You obey decision. Motivation is loud. It screams for a day and dies by morning. But discipline? Discipline whispers every day. Do it anyway. When you're tired, when you're broken, when no one is watching. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It commands. You don't rise when it's easy. You survive when it's hard. And that's how you rise above all. You want to lead? You want to dominate? Then remove the heat. No panic, no anger, no fear. You walk through war like it's Sunday. You make moves with hands of ice. You make decisions with a mind like a blade. That's how killers move. That's how legends rise. Cold blood, clear mind, clean victory. They want you to argue. They want you to fight. They want you to waste your energy proving something. But you know better. You don't prove. You don't explain. You just level up. You disappear into your work. You reemerge unstoppable. And by the time they realize what happened, you're already too far ahead to reach. That's the best revenge. No reaction, only results. They insult. They attack. They lie. And you smile. You stay silent. You rise. Because fighting back puts you on their level. But rising above, that makes you untouchable. Don't drop into the dirt. Make them choke on your dust. Pressure doesn't break you. It defines you. Every moment you didn't quit. Every moment you stayed silent. Every time you showed up anyway. That pressure made you harder. Steel is forged in fire, and you are forged in pressure. Let them collapse. Let them cry. You? You grow stronger with every crack in the world. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them throw rocks. But don't ever stop building. While they gossip, you build. While they hate, you build. While they sleep, you build. And one day when the tower is done, they'll look up in silence and realize they never stood a chance. Words can be twisted. Noise can be ignored. But silence pierces everything. It makes people uncomfortable. It makes them guess. It makes them weak. You don't need to yell. You don't need to post. You don't need to react. Your silence speaks louder than their screams. Your stillness is their storm. When you walk in, own it. Your energy speaks before your mouth does. No fidgeting. No over-talking. No chasing validation. You observe. You command. You radiate certainty. People feel it. And when they feel it, they follow it. You don't ask for control, you walk in with it. And you don't have to announce who you are. You don't have to prove your strength. You just have to carry it. Let your discipline be your armor. Let your control be your blade. Let your silence be your threat. You move like a ghost. You strike like a storm. And when the world finally sees your power, it'll be too late to stop you. Most people panic under pressure. They shake, they talk too much, they fold. But you get calmer. The storm rages. You slow down. People yell. You blink once. Things fall apart. You remain still. And that stillness, that silence, it scares them. Because nothing is more dangerous than someone who refuses to be shaken. Let them talk. Let them mock. Let them throw your name in the dirt. You don't respond. You don't defend. You just rise. Their noise is free marketing. Their gossip is momentum. Because every time they speak your name, they make you more powerful. And every time you stay silent, you remind them who really holds control. Chasing lowers your value. It gives away power. It shows neediness. But when you build in silence, when you work in private, you don't have to chase. They come to you. You don't beg. You don't pitch. You become the storm they can't ignore. Control means staying still and letting gravity do the work. It's not how strong your body is. It's how unshakable your mind is. A weak man with a strong mind can conquer a strong man with a weak mind. Every time. Because the game is not played in muscle, it's played in decisions. While others get emotional, you get focused. While others break, you adapt. That's the edge. That's the difference. Everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants attention. But attention without value is noise. And noise is forgettable. You stay silent. You stay building. You wait. Then one day, the work speaks, and your silence turns into thunder. Not because you demanded attention, but because you became undeniable. They betray you. They lie. They ghost. They insult. Good, it's data. Now you know who they are. Now you adjust. Now you rise smarter. The moment you take it personal, you lose control. But if you take it as information, you gain leverage. You're not emotional, you're strategic. When you walk into a room, it should change. Not because you're loud, not because you seek attention, but because your energy is solid. Your eyes are focused. Your movements are precise. You don't have to say a word. People feel something shift. That's control. That's power. That's presence. You don't need the outcome. You don't beg for results. You're not addicted to attention. You are detached. You play the game, but you don't cling to it. You love, but you're not owned. You win, but you're not afraid to lose. That's why you're dangerous. Because you can't be controlled by fear, approval, or loss. They'll call you cold. They'll say you're arrogant. They'll say you changed. Good. They're not supposed to understand you. They're not on your level. They haven't been through your battles. They don't know what it took. Your silence isn't weakness. It's evolution. Let them talk. You've got legacy to build. Never beg, never chase, never lower your crown. If something disrespects your value, walk. If someone questions your worth, walk. Because walking away with power is louder than yelling with emotion. You don't leave as a loser. You leave as a king. And when kings walk, the whole world watches. The loudest ones lose. The noisiest ones need validation. But real power, it doesn't shout. It doesn't flex. It doesn't brag. It just wins. Quietly, ruthlessly, without warning. While they're talking, you're taking territory. By the time they hear the news, it's already over. Or they rush, they panic, they move off impulse. But you stay slow, you stay smooth, because you know speed without control is chaos. Movement without precision is waste. You don't chase speed, you master stillness. And from stillness, you strike with perfect execution. When others fold, you hold. When pressure rises, you hold. When doubt creeps in, you hold. Because strength isn't shown in motion. It's revealed in resistance. Most people react. You resist. They crack. You hold. And in holding the line, you win the war no one sees. People are reactive. They absorb. They copy. You lead. You walk in with calm. The room calms. You walk in with silence. The room falls silent. You walk in with power. They feel it. You don't match energy. You create it. You impose it. That's how you control everything. You don't owe anyone a story. You don't need to explain your distance, your silence, your standards. They don't get it. That's fine. Elevation requires isolation, and understanding is not required for greatness. Let them guess. Let them wonder.